Hello Aries, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we've got a Princess of Swords. That could be a lot of things. My first impression is that you're learning new skills right now, right? That you're kind of, you're in an unfamiliar place, right? And you're kind of, it's almost like, going back to school, or you're going to learn something, maybe learn something over again. But I feel like you're learning something. You're kind of, it's like you've already achieved a certain level of success in your life, right? It's kind of like someone who's already got a bunch of college degrees. Well, then they're going to go back and they're going to kind of learn the basics again, you know? So I feel like we're kind of learning something new. It could be a new skill, and it could be that we're used to being we're used to really having this confidence and kind of being in the front and being the leader, but now you kind of have to sit in the back and well, not sit in the back, but you have to kind of humble yourself a little bit and realize that you're kind of the beginner here, right? Something you're not used to anyway. Let's put this into some context. Let's see what we are doing. Well, maybe we're trying to unlearn, right? Maybe we're trying to really go back to the basics of things, you know? We have the Ten of Swords, we've got a Queen of Wands, we've got a Ten of Cups, okay? And we have a Princess, so interesting. See, we've got a Ten of Cups and a Princess of Cups. We have a Ten of Swords and a Princess of Swords. So I feel like we're going back to the basics and learning something new, but we're also doing the same thing about ourselves. It's like we're learning a new skill, or we're learning the basic techniques of something. It's like somebody who's already a professional, I don't know, professional chef or something. They're kind of going back to culinary school, right? It's kind of like, I shouldn't have to, but here I am. I want to go back and learn the basics again. Or like this master musician who's going back and taking like elementary theory of music again. You know what I mean? It's some master physicist or mathematician going back and just taking kind of basic algebra again, you know? So I feel like that's what we're doing, but I feel with the cup energy, with the water energy, that we're doing something to kind of relearn about ourselves again, right? So something's going back to basics, going back to the beginning, relearning something. Yeah, very interesting. Let's keep going and put the rest of the cards out here. Now we've got the Knight of Cups. So it's kind of, now we have the princesses matured into this Knight energy, and we're moving forward with it. So it could be we're like learning how to feel. We're learning how to perhaps talk about our feelings, express our feelings. We're learning how to communicate with our dreams again. You know what I mean? Let's keep going here. We've got a Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Ten of Wands. A lot of tens here, right? And the tens, we know, are kind of like the endings, but also the beginnings. The tens are all finish lines, but also starting lines, right? And a Nine of Cups and an Eight of Wands. So I feel like we've reached a certain level of success. We've hit a certain milestone, and it's kind of like that's prompted us to then go back to basics, go back to the beginning, go back and relearn everything again. You know, it's kind of like you get to the end of this book, and you kind of think, okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to start from page 1 and I'm going to read it again. And this time it's a different experience, right? So I don't know where this is taking place for you. I'm trying to get a feel for what exactly this means, but it's kind of like we're going back to the basics. We're going back to the beginning again, maybe to have a more emotional experience with something. Maybe the first time we read it, was just to get through it, and we just wanted to kind of get the basics down. But now we're going back and we're reading it again, and we're catching those subtleties, right? And maybe this is for, like with a book or a novel, for example. We read it once, we get through it, we understand kind of intellectually the chronology of something. Now we're going to read it again and really immerse ourselves in the feelings of it. Yeah? It could be that we're involved in some kind of, it could be therapy even, right? Where we're going back over a situation, we're going back to the beginning of something, and we're going to tell the story again. But this time we're really going to tell the true story, right? From that subjective point of view. Maybe this air energy is us giving the facts. We said from, chronologically, this is what happened. Now we're going back and we're doing something again that is talking about our truth, about how we experienced it, the very subjective version of the story, right? So this could be something that we're doing either for some sort of art project or creative project or a work thing, but it feels like it's kind of therapeutic at the same time. Okay, I don't know exactly what that is. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here. And Mr. Ed the Tiny Horse right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. We can do it together, right? We can make it a group exercise. Now let's look around here because we don't see any major arcana energy. So to me, this is very much about the water, and the air energy that we see here, right? And the fire is kind of an interesting thing because the fire is kind of like, maybe we're looking to get our motivation back, right? Here is the Ten of Wands. It's in the position of the environment. Maybe maybe there's a relationship that has just ended, okay? Maybe there was this partnership that is no more. Could be a professional relationship, could be a romantic relationship, creative collaboration, I don't know. But I feel like this has just ended. But I feel like rather than it just being, okay, it's over, we're walking away, I feel like we're having the conversation. I feel like we're going to really talk about it and be like, okay, now what was that experience like for us? What did that mean to me? What's my version of the story, right? Versus what's the other person's version of the story? How do I feel about everything that happened? I feel like this is really, we're diving in. We're diving into the emotions, we're diving into the facts as we see them, and of course the facts of our experience, our feelings, okay? And all this is meant toward giving you some sort of, I guess, a sense of closure or a sense of like, now I have the ability to move on and I've really learned a lot from this experience. Now, this could be anything, okay? And what I can relate it to for myself, maybe this will help you figure out what this is in your life. When I had a near-death experience. I had a liver transplant, almost 14 years ago now. In September, it'll be 14 years. I was in the ICU for weeks. I had to have an emergency liver transplant. It was the most serious thing I'd ever been through in my life, right? And I remember waking up in the hospital weeks after everything had taken place. I didn't know where I was. I was strapped down to the bed because I was intubated. I had tubes everywhere. I had bruises everywhere too, which was very shocking to see. I thought I had been in a car accident. Come to find out, I had organ failure. They had to give me a new liver, emergency transplant, and I was intubated and on life support for a while until I kind of woke up. So it took me a while to figure out what was going on and where I was and what had happened, right? And then weeks after that, when I'm out of the hospital and I'm starting to get my life back on track again, starting to build up my strength and get back to work and do all these things, I started really to want to piece together what had happened, okay? And that's what's going on here. I tried to think of the first thing I remembered. And I went out and actually I printed out all my medical records, thousands of pages from the hospital about, everything that happened. And I tried to piece together everything that took place, dates and times. I made this whole chronology, most of which I could not remember. It was just blank places in my memory for all these things, but it was in the medical record, right? So I was able to kind of piece together chronologically everything that had happened. And I'd kind of try to remember certain things and fill in certain things. But then once I had that all kind of written out, then I went back through everything emotionally. And I started with the very first thing that I remember. The first thing that I remembered was having these very kind of scary, very vivid and very frightening dreams. And I woke up from them gradually and started to realize that I was in the hospital. And I started trying to get the attention of the ICU nurse to say, hey, I need this tube out of me so I can breathe, and to try to ask what had happened and things. So I started going through my own memories. I started going through my own subjective experience of what I felt, the fear, the physical pain, the kind of disconnectedness that I felt, and all of these different things. And that was this, right? And this picture that I painted to myself and in my journals and things was a lot different than what the medical record, what the chronology was. But blending both of these together really allowed me to process the experience in a way that I think I have thoroughly benefited from it. Right? And to this day, I say that was the kind of the best thing that had ever happened to me in my life. Because without that significant, that was a tower moment, right? Without that significant moment, I wouldn't be right here where I am right now. And so I'm very thankful for that. I don't want to go through it again, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, but I'm very thankful that it happened and that I'm here now, And so it was a way for me to integrate that experience both factually, chronologically, as well as subjectively, emotionally, and in my own imagination and memories, right? And then coming through that with this kind of renewed sense of gratitude, this renewed sense of love, this desire now to not waste any time and to share my life and my love and my consciousness with the world, right? Whatever I have to offer the world, that's what I want to do. And I think that this is that card, this is that Knight of Cups that wants to kind of express what's within us, whatever it might be, whatever your talent, whatever your gift, whatever your personality is. This is you wanting now to give it to the world, wanting to coming out of this experience with this renewed sense of love and compassion and empathy and wanting to be part of the world and wanting to share of yourself with the world, right? And it's not an easy process. We've got that Queen of Wands underneath everything. And the Queen of Wands is trying to hold all of this up. Because this is an experience that if we really sank into it, we really could find ourselves in a bit of a depression, right? Because the significance of this event, whatever it is for you, whatever this period of time is for you, the significance of this is very heavy, right? And it'd be very easy for us to get into a bit of a Seven of Pentacles thing and see that this is just a dark period and that nothing good has come from this. See, these are a bunch of seeds that have not sprouted. We planted all these seeds, nothing came of it. So this is kind of like an experience that is worthless. There is no benefit. Nothing good has come of this experience at all. But this is not what we want to believe, right? And so we go through this process of recapitulation, trying to bear the weight of it and stay positive, to realize that there are a lot of benefits. And here's that Nine of Cups to kind of contrast the Seven of Pentacles right here. So the Nine of Cups is we're looking for the way in which this was the best thing that ever happened to us. We're looking for the positive benefits, right? When we say nothing has come of this, well, on this side we're saying this was a necessary experience for me. There was a lot of good that has come out of this experience, okay? And I do think that it's I do think it was something that's it was the ending of something. It was some kind of a big crescendo, a big culmination. Like for me, the tens here, this is kind of the the organ failure, the transplant, and then, of course, that finish line is then the starting line. So in a way, I felt as if my life was starting over again. I was starting over from scratch. I had to learn how to eat again, how to walk again, all this stuff. So it's a beginning, right? It's the ending of a certain period of time for us. My old life had ended, and my new life began. Okay, and that's the 10. That's why we have the 10s here. And of course, the 8 of Wands here in the ending position, this is really this is really a very good card right now, because it's saying that there's so much potential. It's kind of saying that you can take your life in any direction. That this was not an ending necessarily, right? That this was merely a transition from one state of being to another. And there are so many things that you can apply yourself to. There's nothing that is not open to you right now. Okay. One thing I want to do before we go further is a Metatron Oracle card. And we're going to see if this will give us any further clarity or enlightenment into this situation. Now, I don't know what the situation is for you exactly. Passion, the love for life, right? That's beautiful. And that's really part of this Knight of Cups, right? That passion, that love for life, the wanting to be part of life, wanting to express ourselves and wanting to share of ourselves. And really, we're taking our heart out of our chest and we're presenting it to the world and saying, this is what I have to offer, you know? Let's do an angel number card as well. All right, we've got, limitless potential, 0000. It's kind of a reset, right? It says rest, relaxation, unknown, surrender, finish line, success, victory. It serves as a timely reminder that anything can be accomplished. If you can dream it, there is no reason you can't make it a reality. If something is in the possession of another person, it's also available to you. So try to remain calm. What's meant for you won't pass you by. Let go of tension and relax. And this is kind of part of this 8 of Wands, because sometimes the 8 of Wands is a little bit of anxiety. It may feel as if I have to do something right now because time is short, but I don't know what exactly to do. So we get this anxious energy. We get the jazz hands, as I call them, right? But I feel in this case it's something different. This feels very relaxed to me. It kind of feels as if the world is open. There is infinite potential now, but I'm not in a rush to do any of it. I know that everything is going to come together as it will. Something has given you confidence that there's that higher power, that there's that higher force keeping everything together. So there's no rush. There's no anxiety. There's a passion, there's a love for life, and there's a desire to share and to present our heart to the world, but there's no anxiety about it. It's almost, it's beautiful, because it's just like, I'm going to do so much, right? That there is almost infinite time to do all these things, right? And even though we are mortal beings, our time is limited, our lives are short. That's, on the same token, everything is infinite. Everything is connected. Everything is meant to be. And so there's a very relaxed energy. And says, I'm going to do everything that I can do. And, when Spirit says it's time to stop, then it's time to stop. But otherwise, there's no end to the list of things that you want to do, And the options are all open to you. So there's this divine energy shining through you that is really giving you a lot of choices right now about how to continue on from this point. And I think that this is, we're getting to the center here. We're recapitulating whatever this experience is, and we're in the center right now. And it's really any direction you turn is going to be great. It just says, pick a point on the globe, and that's your path, right? Very, very good energy here. I want to do the mystery card. I'm curious about this. Maybe the Emperor, maybe it'll be your power card, right? Maybe not, maybe something else. Maybe we'll get more water energy. But the one thing I would like to see maybe is some growth of the earth energy. Maybe we could see a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. Let's see. Oh, even better, the Empress. Look at that beauty. The Empress is really now, we said that nothing good has come from this, that these were seeds that never sprouted. No, In fact, all of those seeds have sprouted, right? That nature is full of life, that there is growth and life and beauty and love and pleasure everywhere, that almost everything that you do is coming to fruition. Everything that we experience is a necessary part of us, right? Nothing is wasted in nature, right? So we think of this experience of nothing good can come from this. No, on the contrary, this was a very necessary experience for you, and there is nothing but life and love that is resulting from that, right? Nothing is wasted. Everything that we go through is a necessary part of our experience. This is a wonderful confirmation, and I think that this is showing a lot of joy and a lot of pleasure, a lot of love in your life right now. And I like it. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Aries, usually Monday and Friday. I felt there was a kind of a need for a bonus reading today, so here we are. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it resonates with you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Does not cost you anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.